Hello, everyone. Just taking some nice deep breaths. Tuning into the unity field, the divine oneness, knowing we are safe, knowing we are healed, knowing we are whole, knowing we are eternal. Tiaya toyo toin imaisian yasiato. Shiataya si kaya toyon yamnati yosoy shoyanatriani. Miani triato sonjokoro hinian nesanandriatia sonjidi taya kono oruitia kia. Hiatosum siatoru iniari tisia shiriati andraya koro iniana. Hini trayanas nun charato sokaraya taya. Hiwanosum saranian troao soshanai. Sitarak oruinama trayensiash non troatos, opening the heart. Hiniandratisi, opening the heart you might feel from the front and the back. Sinatro arro ina nosum sonoshani toyokoro hiti sipa dooni inshinin sanatana. Kimayeni yotokori tasi ishini isikianain sioto riti kimiana unsokoroiti shirei sansanishi. Sina yatakoroiti simi sanadrayatayana. Kia taoro kinian satri, kitaya tokoro inian satroini shimdriato sokayashiana. There's like a strong message of not proving your worth, like resting in and expanding and emerging from your inherent worth, not proving your worth, letting go of a lot of frenetic energy around being good enough and being as you are, letting the truth of your being as you are extend. Tayatoro kanayan satrais. Shitri kayas nutron nimatraya sokotoya tiata. Shitaya son socorro kinianama iti sikitaya nandratu son chocorro hini imindrehaya tu sokotishin satri kia toyotoro kin satrat. I'm sorry the video is kind of blurry. I have my webcam plugged into my computer, but it's not using it, and I don't think I can change it while the live is going. Hitaya korrokinia sitishini mayana triato sonsocorro inim narato socorina shini ansiri toro inian satrayes nishan takoro amayanian trais sia shoyo tuipi kia siti kayat doya toyato ikanandraisim shiritro arroyana. Sini Andrea toyono ai sini shinindroi mindriatia sayash nutro. Kimayas unchoro iriaya tisi tayatodi payana andaraya. Hio turruiti shinindo amatriatia. Good. Thank you for letting me know. Kiayatitia so yoshumo arritisi. Kiayatia nayanayanatru. Yotosoti keishi payas nutro anainimi iti kiondrihiayataya kia. Kimium sorotishan. Again, this has been coming through in the videos a lot, but just like letting your body relax, like consciously letting yourself relax. Like if you need to shake, if you need to like, like just let like really consciously letting the tension flow out. Kiniondoro iniamayan sondon chinindrieti singiarato roinimi ani shi toyoni kayasi, kayasun chipaoro inim natrain, hiondoro hiniamaro inoyoto soshia, iokoro inimi, hinion tosum zarato koroidiata sayashia, sin sotosos ashi, osokanain siaya so shoraisia. Letting tension release from the jaw, from the tendons, like tendons everywhere, ligaments everywhere throughout your body. These solar storms are beautiful for the aurora, yes. But they are, like I was saying in the video earlier, but they are very powerfully changing the magnetic structure of the field. So we are electromagnetic fields in our bodies. And so this is going to make us feel it's designed to, it's changing your body. So it's going to feel like something, right? Well, since you're watching it, the information that's coming through, I know you had said earlier that this isn't, you might not totally be on board for all of it. So I really appreciate you being here. But since you are here, the information that's coming through, your self that knows that you're here, and the self that knows is one. So if it's helpful to you, if you're here and you're open to just sort of imagine, our imaginations are so powerful, our thoughts are what are projecting our reality. So if you imagine that infection in whatever, I don't know if it was bacterial or viral, and however those, sometimes the viral infections look like little spidery guys. If you imagine them just sort of washing away out of your body. Torohitisia, okay. Kiniama oro niam nasi kia shini toro kinian taisi kia shitria niantatea kuyunotoro yamatru itikia. Because remember, all things are made out of sound and light in this universe. And so when we get to this sort of source code of electromagnetism, it might be kind of out there to believe, but it does reorganize the structure of the, wave code. And that it's at a level from which the physicality we project, like it's pre-projection. It's at these dimensional levels it's rewriting the code before it projects into form. Yeah, it just comes through as code. It always has looked like code, like quantum code to me. Some people see like archetypal stories, like they're looking at a storybook, but for me, it looks like physics, sort of. I can't describe the way it looks. It looks like just currents and colors, and it doesn't, the information sometimes comes through as a story, but it seems to be kind of around that. It's like where all this springs from. Hiriataya tokoro ini matruin sokonoshini kanandrai kia piasonji kiain yana troya piakiaria. And that's, why I don't so much resonate with the term light language, because language, all of our languages are a code, but it doesn't seem to me as if it is a language like the discrete languages that we speak to each other in. It is pulling from so many different dimensional levels of being and creating that it wouldn't tell a story like in linear time the way our languages do. Kiaptoro initise kiniantia niantrioritisin kaya tuyumnein sini kiotorritisia tiakina hiniatoro iriasio shono ini kanandi kinim niandriatisia shoyotoson sokoash hiayokoro iniama indio tokonishin hina inia tawa supotoro kinin tatisi tishikia itien satru kiaporo iniandraisi kia shon socorro iriatosum sokoni nyana yana traya sansa nyana yana in siotori tisi shamayato kia takorro iniama oro iriati kia toro iniam tatosum socorro iriaptario tium yokoyoptom ma anchiritis in saratoro iniandrea siakia shin siotroetiaka, you are not in my way. Kia tisi chiritis Sienjini mi andayato ruiniam diesun chu iritia corruitok oyenzo truiti saya shiti esiekiayani siana uso shamaya susu ayatraya kinien sanandro araya tinea hinindisia ni shonsum ditia kiniti oruiti sim shekinianti sian sotoso sia shia troya tieniam oruiti sakian dieta kori itiesia. I'm a noise musician. Kia tia kia ritisi kia toro iria tasansa kini isi kia yision choro iniam takiati sin chia sunso yesaya shor yandrato sumso tayishi. Very, very powerful sound, reclaiming sound. Troyetia konamam borro inientisi. Hello, hello. Kia datrayesi kia yeshini yono nindriamo araya sonchi. Very much releasing from the heart now. Kinondoko maoncha kanin di isio toro itision so ti kaya. Hia tayata rihinim ni ti son socorro itisi, shin sanandrihani toyo toro itiso to shoto konana yana toraha, shondo somsaki sini tiantao io soptoro inimdriato socoritaya shinindrihit, kinindriat samtoro imiatraya senishiritia sakiataya sanatrianindisium socoriatis. Oh, that's beautiful. Kinandreyasam Sakayash. I think if it's honest, it's a pure vibration coming from your soul with the intention of being honest. I've certainly heard musicians talk like, I really like Deadmau5, and I didn't think he would describe himself as a spiritual person at all, but the way that he talks about making music in like flow state where you just sort of like lose time and you're not really like connected to your personality anymore and you're just like in the zone of creating is, I think, of very much in like the trance state that I kind of describe. And so I think there's like a million ways that you can describe. I think art is probably the best example of multidimensional being that we already are and we already express through. And I certainly don't, I'm a God person. I use that terminology, but I certainly don't think you have to. And I don't think that it's necessary. I think all roads lead home, whatever way resonates with you the most, to be in your sort of flow state of the now. I think whatever comes from that, you know, some of the most powerful art moves us in ways that tend to sort of make us uncomfortable, to shake things out of us. Certainly when I make noise, not so much for the trance meditations for the channel, but just like the noise I make for fun is, you know, shakes it out of us. So it might not sound like, oh, this is like the most beautiful thing I've ever heard, but it is reorganizing at the level of magnetism. I think it's a process. I think that's beautiful. It's hard to be present. There's so much going on. And I really do think that that's so much of what the code is for, what the work is for, is to help us settle our minds, bring stillness to our minds, allow it. If you believe it, it will move some of that stuff that's on top of it out of the way. But it's very much a co-creative process between us. Right? You have to believe, you have to participate, and you have to, in your consciousness, flow with it to move it out as well. I can't really do anything that you don't accept for yourself. Kita korro ini mati saishi kini taya korro, hiniansa kinin disinchi kinin droarro itimit. You don't have to understand how it works. You don't have to see it the way I do. Hiena korro inean sokonoshin satrueti kini. I don't think any two people are really perceiving in the same exact ways. That's what makes life so beautiful. Kia ta korruina po anso konoin shitri kiniam natroin sayashi, si torruinim nitrom diki ti orrui tisio shatra kayan sakina trayanin diom naoni, hinindri sio shontiptao so shikietayan, sinindria ta korroi si yan yaptorui tisi kayashitia kayat, inindaya torro iniandraya toya trayas, Shin sandrato sumsakunoyin chitri, hiniandroavo sonkunchiri tarra kayatiatra. Now it's very much coming through in sort of this solar and sacral levels down into the root. It's clearing out from these lower levels to bring this sort of higher, more plasmic embodiment into form through the center of the being, but certainly allowing it to move into the ground. Sita tua nashnondro tamain siti, she might feel it in your legs. Kiriataritisi kinian shinindritisi kinindoama ion sharitia karaitis sin sioptorigitisi. If you imagine yourself to be a sort of conduit for these plasmic energies that are coming from the sun, and they're also coming from within you to help anchor into the grid of the earth, the consciousness of the earth. Kinindorritisi kianshitit, for the collective, to enlighten the whole collective, to just make it easier, a bit easier for others to see. Kinindrituyoto korhinim dayasi kinitiotorais nienchakoin sotruitikina, sitorihirikiana tritisi psiatratas, kinindrihonama traisin sotokorhitiki, shimitriana nuin sondroinian norahaya tikaya, shoyatomayan sendritisi shimambotokonoyan takiriato ritis tarit, kinindrianiam natri kinintoyatoraya sinchiritriti, and bringing strength to the system. Sioptoritis hikayas dosham trati sin yandarakoritis ties, shintetintratos, Niandroharat, Yanantokandatri, Insatra Hinamdat, Uharoahatukuno in Chapa Uruhuit, Hitap Toro Hiniam Arhatarakina in Satrihik, Hikayat Or Hitia Satri Kiniandratos Osa Shamadri in Sato, Hyondoria Siashareateasian Jarihiri, Hitiatayak Oroa Pasutruat. This is very powerfully clearing what appears to be a sort of thicket around like creating in safety. It's really coming through as this like root sacral connection, like after a long period of being like very, very disconnected. Sinindi sum sotroitis oshikinian toro hinin tai, yeri tori yari koro arahato sum satrot, hinin tisam shatri hiri kinin tium narayan, yata subsokonin chiritis insatiso sum socorro itisitiri kinian dreato sososhiareit, mintiritoyo corviniam natas ancharatosot. Hiniandruitis, and this is fun. This is coming through like as like this root sacral energy, like making the rounds, almost like circuitry through the meridians. Siatorriti sim shanandroaro kinama traisi, siaptauquim sokuma andrais. It's coming through as this like blue kind of energy. Ciencia kiosa corroinia derihiri kien san chap so iaitim no inso con indishep trayat, kiriataya to corruhenian taya nein siti shitrihit, kimindio torriti siki anatro oroitisio toro, hirieto ritata, kiniantacoro itis, noyum shorohit. Siatokoas atrahitat ora hikayan, yamayotorhinin sokoritit, kietas atrihitikiok or kininritis nandrais yoptoro konandrato, hinin diabeso matrayas, sanain shinitayasa kinandrayan satrat, yanatroro, hi isikia, inimo oroemainiama yanapasuptoro, Hiritandrayata, yasakinindisi kinindi kiamatrit. That's really cool. Yes, blue energy. Oftentimes I really think of it as like, the Hindu gods are portrayed as like blue skinned. It seems to be this sort of enlightened consciousness, which we have. I think all beings have that like layer, that dimensional layer or presence of consciousness. It's just about expanding our awareness back into it. Oti ini paya sunso konoshan, si kineisiot ora hukunoim shiti kiniki, kiri arihiri kianan riatoso soshipisi kiamatri. But lots of like sun colors, like the plasmic filaments of the sun, also very much coming through. Deep reds, purple white. I know that's not what the sun looks like to us, but this purple white. I always see this purple white. Citriano som shakin Andrea Torro iti simsa konondro ima hishikin indriata son socorro, kinindrihiri kaya truama traeti kininti corro kunon shitrikini kimatruam datiasat hioraharak yan Andrea tokarikini inti samsakit kibiorra kun shotruiti sikitayan chikinindri kiato corro kuno uyetia corro kiniam. Kinintikoya kiri kiatro arat, hinandratoso shimitis, siom joro idiata konuin so konuin shitritis namtok, yot orri kinin yamai sinchi kinindikayeti porriti sitio soko yeshikaya, hikoyak orokunambaya toko yikoyak oahwa kukwamna, yanan tata kurikari kiati, hitoya toriti shikititatos otro hirikayan, Shor kinian yatruiti yatu ruhut kunain shikiai hikiari kaya tokorok yahuru inintua pao shokonat yanandata sesanain hiara karahi tayatoro kinian hau kunoyanayan ohaya kiatai kaya hua. Horrokinim natroin soto ishikitis o raitisiam da korrok ini andreatiasi. Kiri nyonto konim jiriti kayatitis yotoroit, kinindisin chenenditiot unsarihiti sietin, kinintuyuptoru inintishituyot, hikiniam natraya tokorohit, yasotruit, yetri kinin yendro arayas nandra, yanain sotrurutiptis nishnindrikinin yatokorruitis taratosotaya. Shimisansa kiri hiariatop, yamin supto shipituru inindritis dorhor kinihanai, himindoro kinian istarayan dorretis taratos. Sihanan diosum shikiri tayatroi kiniaha. Hiayana ini kini indi kiokor kinim satri sitis in shikinindri hayangiatosum sakinia. Hiriatora hiriasin. If you're having trouble sleeping through all of this really deep transition that's happening, there's definitely messages of this assisting with sleep, with like relaxing enough to sleep, like taking the pressure off yourself of like worries on your mind, clearing the mental plane. Kinindria toro iti soyoshumsa kinindrihi tikinean datato kuyunchokorkonatra sayan shiriti andrei siakiri torut. And it always comes through this way, but it is getting into the center moment, like the moment of now, to stop projection of the past into the future. Harakonoin shamatrokonin sikirikarak, hitikia korkonin sotroitisi, shitisi kian sitritision sotroiti shimsakiritarut, kiritar kinian satriti kitish oratis nandrokon, hinintikio koruiti toro konatra, sanchokoro iditato kuni inchokorait, sipia sotoro inim yara harayats, nantareyanin sokorkoniat, kinindiso shora hatri kiasin, shinikoro kiniandrati sikirian, yan sharata yai yotoru iniandraisiam yahaya toru huamaya ni. Kinim nori hinin dioru, kinian sotruiti shikiayas, siti soya sanchiri hinin dok, hidi siotriti shin yari kien sotruiti siotokoya, yanin toyo kyotot, imin toyo yandri atos, otro ayano shoro, hiritio socorroit, himintisi kayati, ini inchiritikia, inindohya kiam no orohit isi teasion join amahirayat. Yana yani yoyo koyata. Hito oraya si taya koroitisa. it really just keeps coming through as like opening the energetic meridians to this plasmic light, to remembering light is information, letting it rework the circuitry, the energy centers. Sindi samsakunin jiritri hiniam daraya sanjokoroiti satrayasnin. It is definitely coming through as like a replacing. Kinindo korokonam shokorohinim nain siyoto konitia, shiti kiatiki iaritio ritis natri, kinin cheisiayas, non chokorokonoim siri kianatrayas, sindi koyotoru inin tayas no shanandro kayat, hyundiotoru itis, sitrihikiti kiom nionion ininiandro ai, Sitrikin sotruiti shokorro kinam bedita yotosam satratos, shatro korroiti sikiat, yantra orroitatri, yatro arraetat, ratistatri kiatorro konon chatra, simian yot orruitiot, biareana sin shikinindri kiniati. Ciato ruiti kiendi tiendrato sonso conoscindri tisia siorruitiai. Kinindrit. I think we'll go till 5:45. This is a lot of energy, and I was feeling kind of cooked earlier, but I really just felt very, very strongly pulled to come on. Hiatakunim shiritri kinindoa, and the lives record, so they'll be available. Yara korro amaya no toruinam charo koripayasi. Sitio tokorro ikiniam tokorro con shatrot yatrotik indrihoruk yandratisi sharahinin dim sarakorruindim datrikiat. Clearing in the crown, opening the crown. Sumashunkota kinindo porruito porro pumunchakanin. It almost looks like this kind of swirling vortex. Shitakonandriati samsakini tishikiriti atrat, kinindi simsakiri kiari kinianto korrokonchara tu simsakorit. Satu kinindri kindri si shindriam ma aratu sokorokariat, oromdriata sakiritish, for sure. It's important to listen to yourself. Kiniandra korrokononji kinindria sikiaditi tiarati, Kiriayas nunchokorro konontrokayas nindruyaptoko isitroatara isi kinindruiti, shimisi trihanit, kiondokorro kini irihiariatoro kinian satro, yarayas osharahit, kiriatanti kiraisi anjaorro, yatroti kayat orayat tratindra korkonto amashatrat, hikiato korkonto koat, ukorium sharahitiki, Hiniandra koduyoto korokut ay kinin yaptor kunoshandratas natra. Shoro arayanam natran. Siti kiritio son chokuitis, sia porro kinindisi kini kiara kiarato goin siti si shintikiai kinindayas natra. Saya trua matra, yanan truata. Very beautiful messages of reconnecting to joy in your day, to joy in the moments, Spirit really wants to bring forward, like, not to worry about provision, not to worry about like how you will be sustained through these times. Like, we are being called to a different way. It's not easy to it's not easy to make that change, but there are so many tools available, and there is always a message for me that we're really not allowing the true power of what these energy codes are to really change us. And that really speaks to the power of our free will and how much spirit won't override you. People are afraid of this kind of stuff, but there's really no need to be. There's nothing that could be done to you without your allowance. And we don't believe that because we think we're being treated so unfairly and by so many structures we perceive to be outside of ourselves. but we're being asked to really, and these solar storms are here to reveal this, to assist in revealing, if you would choose to see it. Kini toyo toro kiniam dori tisi kion jokorakian sotroetiai kiariti siotrotos. Everyone's going to have to take responsibility for the way they've contributed to this physical reality through their belief and their projection. Nandroata socorroto yandroati sakiatat. Yo corro kinindruiti socorroti paya sonjokonim drihit kindria sinjinindroato sosiapcheriti. See too much time. I feel like time's going by. I feel like time is like speeding. Kinitisi kiri korruitis sotroietis. But certainly I think there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of remembrance coming through, a lot of things we might not have considered before, new ways of seeing things, new ways of considering the past, new ways of considering systems, new ways of considering ourselves and our minds. This is all good, but it can make you tired. I mean, yeah, it can definitely make you tired. Hitia korro kiniam siotosham sakinin sitriki yishini tor kondotari hai yato subsokonin disi tiat yop torwiti siopto korruk yitrihiti kin yoto korro konuchara yatian tatos. Ease the mind. Kitriamon sotoeshnum do kiritis nandratos. Spirit is not trying to have us be in a state of strain. And certainly always the message comes through that we have to do so much less than we think we do. And all of what we think we have to do can sometimes really, really distract us from hearing spirit and from trust. Kinindo poa kunimnia, yoro kinindio socorro konatrot, sitaya soncho corro kanian satrihitis, shiti kian dea sitayat oro kuyuto kunindriam nain, shitrihian sacorro konatrat, kiriatayanit atrikinindria poroiniam satruis, sinchiritis ansakinin chatrut, sitiata corroiniam natra, yandra turro hitisikiai, initrato soshaoro yanandro ama asaya ikiashaya ta uru aratrain hinindo oro iriat akiri hiri hayara yoto socorro kayas. Definitely a message of like just letting go of baggage, letting go of extra baggage. So kinindro ama incha korro kun topto korro yandra. Don't apologize. That's why I've come on. Kiria trai sinzi kinisha yiti sinzi kinindia sinchiriti koroi hiriata. Sindium jorotis. Let's get that rut moving. Kiria trom nandratisi. I'm sure you're not the only one. Yes, we are all, it appears differently and uniquely to us through the stories of our individual incarnations and lives, but at these more expanded levels of paradigms and belief systems, they are all stemming from sort of the same things, the same beliefs at these deeper levels. Kita koroiti simshi kinindriato konindisi aso shipotoro aya kinindro araiti kia. Sioto kinin chitisaya sinondro epia koruin sikini shitrata sakia. Hey Paul! Kitia sakiria tiondro ata sancha kinindro eptia e kiniandrato sobchiriti sikiriatas. Paul wrote a beautiful book, Gabby's Galaxy. Beautiful images, beautiful energy in that work. Absolutely gorgeous. Kinandro Kayas and Chokorokit. Very powerful tool for connecting to galactic family, if that's something that resonates with you. Lots of blue being energy coming through Paul, for sure. Royatia sakunundo korro karayati kianatrayam soto aishi kianatriati sikiriatot. Sokoroto somjokoro kian tarai kyoto soso shitri kinyamboro hayeti sanjakoro hiatrai siki. I love you too. Kiataya sani sharatrai kinindriti singiata kit yanandrai siapshoro kinyanda kinindri kayas. Shinindo non somjiriti singiatik yari torro iti siataya andrato soso shamatra yanandro arruikia mayat yanandro aptorro iniam takunin chikiritea si sinchiritia sanchawoyaptianian nandra isia sotro hikianayat orroiti seishianay yanandi ao sokoroatu shokorot hurru iniamna on chokoroat Kiniandroama yetokorro itisi kion sotu ikia hininoama yetokorokin. Have you guys seen the aurora? Did you guys see the aurora last night where you guys are? I think you'll be able to see it tonight too, depending on your weather conditions and your light pollution. I'm in New Mexico and they were really, really bright. Kitia torro itisim sikininji kian satriato kinion borro hiriatat kianayin chokorki tisiatrui tiakuni shirikian satri horroatis. Did you see them, Paul? Can you see them now? It's later there for you. Kiataya kori tision socorro kunian chakiriati sinkitiat. Very exciting. I've never seen the Northern Lights before. I was freaking out. Kiataya koruitisium sokonishia traya kinianta kaniantratis. Yes. Siataya sini tiria kianayan chokorotus. And they were all these like shooting stars too. I was like, oh my God. Because it's it's really dark here. There's like hardly any. Well, Taos is it's like 20 miles away. So there's some lights coming off Taos, but it's like hardly any. So you could see the Milky Way here, all of the stars, incredibly beautiful, very, very grateful for the time I've spent here. I'm going back to Colorado this weekend. I'm very excited. I love Colorado. Kira toruiti sa kian so konoshan, samaya to konin so toyataya kiritiasa, shantrai sikia yuniot ori kaya takonin so konoyin cha, siat oruiti si siat o yanayan shiritia koyo to koruiti si miatraiti aki, hitoruiti sa, shora kinyan, siandroatat, excuse me, morrokinatra. Niatosho moro indaki ni andaya samashi. Kininom sarato roti sitisia. Lots now information coming through to like calming the nervous system. Assistance in like reactions. If somebody is really entertaining a lot of delusion and it's triggering you, like really, really like assistance in reminding ourselves to just like cool it, take a step back, invite compassion. Now, this is very important that this doesn't mean, and I say this a lot because I think it's important to remember, that it doesn't mean that you need to keep being around people who are like consciously and insistently projecting delusions. But it is still a practice for us to see the light of the truth in them. Yes, crying is wonderful. Crying is such a powerful transmutational technology that our bodies just naturally do. We all gotta let ourselves cry. There's a reason our bodies do that. And it's very, very powerful transmutational energy coming through. So anyway, I mean, I've burped, I'm coughing, like any way that comes through for you, I really encourage you to just let that come. Even if you want to scream, like some people think that that's like a violent reaction, but I think if you want to scream into a pillow, I have found that very useful to get out anger. There's a lot of anger in the collective. It's not directed at anyone, as it consciously letting it go, consciously releasing it Kiria toro kiniam takono shitri kia sonso konon choro kinia tatu yotoro inian inindroro hiria tu kinian sokono shamatroit hiko yokinian toro hitri kian satrat hikiria tosam jagoro hiria tona matrit kia orundro atasi. And I think before you logged on, Paul, we were talking about these plasmic currents running through the meridians, oronatium sokorokot adhaya natroamat, really, really coming through the meridians, really, really replacing a lot of code. So if you're feeling the need to cry, if you're feeling like you need to release, it could most definitely be that. Yamandroaptosh onkorrokonam iti kinjibara kinindisi kinyan, hinindroatos mjokorro kinyan tayak, hiporondo taya triatisi kiriatorro tuyontat. Well, the way that I describe delusion is like anything that is not of like the eternity of love. So any ideas that we have of ourselves as mortal, as beings of death, as beings of fear, any fear-based thought is a delusion. Sort of this Buddhist Course in Miracles definition of delusions and illusions, Maya. Kiria tokorro konashem se kiriti sinsi kinindrihi teatro. Only love is real. Shindritis, we live in a dream. Kiria torro kinin disyupshokoroiti se akian tatro yapiat. Remembering we are the dreamers, so we can dream a better dream on our journey to remember ourselves in wholeness, in our journey back to unity. Sia traisio shorroti kiria tokorro konotia sham sokorroti teatrato sokonian. Shitriti si kinindro aptoro kinian jiriti sakiati kiniandriatoro iti shikiniandret. You know, Jackson, you might find some of the sutras, some of the, you know, if you Google, I really love the Kadampa tradition. They have a lot of really powerful examples of meditations to do, ideas to hold in your mind while you're meditating, I think could be really powerful for you. If you Google just the new Kadampa tradition of Buddhism, they have a lot of meditations. I think with the way you're describing your internal process, that could be helpful for you. Yes. Kieta korro konashen sakinindri, sio korroana tian doap tia shikin sitri tian dato sokotiat, because they'll have, you know, meditations where there will be an idea or a teaching and you hold that teaching sort of in your mind. And if your mind wanders, you go back to the teaching and you sort of just let yourself expand on it and on those ideas. Inindroa o shor kanyan yondroatis. Hinindriyatis. Yeah, I really like the Kadampa Buddhism meditations. I find them really powerful. I don't know where you live, and you certainly don't have to dox yourself, but there are Kadampa centers around the country, and they do. I think everyone that I've ever been to does a Sunday global peace meditation that is really, really beautiful. Oh, you're so welcome. And the founder of the new Kadampa tradition, because there's a bunch of different kinds of Buddhism. Geshe Khalsang Gyatso is like a contemporary of the Dalai Lama, but that's a different kind of Buddhism. And his teachings, you can find them on YouTube. Very, very beautiful. Yes, good, beautiful. Yeah, I recommend it. It's powerful to meditate with others. I think it also makes it easier. Kiria tokoru kiniam doru tishi kiria tayana troam barokini tisi kini tishi kiri koro kono insot yotokoru kinianda yon chokoraya te yosososhia hio yokoro yandrato som sokoroi tishi kiansai sini androa masha kira yitsiana umsarihi satror kininda yesim shikinindo yatianandriato sokoyan shatrotos. I definitely feel much more balance in the field than when we started. There's sort of clarity that I feel like maybe we've sort of revealed here. I hope you guys feel more at peace. Kieteya sotoyash, and remember the codes. will be directed by your highest self, your inner being, your spirit self, to sort of to reorchestrate and reorganize and reveal as is in highest alignment for you, in deep peace in your journey, so that you're not unsettled. So we let this sort of reveal itself as it comes, and we sort of surrender to the divine in the timing of it all. But know that they are awakening, they are assisting in your remembrance. Remembrance is what we're here for now at this time. Kinindro korruit, kinindro amasonjo korroat, inindriata sakoti shinindro rotayat, kinindriato konat. That sounds cool. Have you ever heard of Richard Rohr? He wrote a book called The Universal Christ. He has a center down in Albuquerque, but I didn't get to go while I was here. I wasn't here for very long. But his work is very beautiful and accessible. Nandroeti shamorro kantia tarkinianto kor kunyandrayata. Hello. Yeah, I'm in El Prado, sort of in between Tres Piedras and El Prado. Kiriatakarate sikia in New Mexico. Kia tokorro koneshintri ti kia mindri kinian tokorro kiniat si taya sonjo korra hatra kayan soto ishi kinindro ya porro kiniandrato sokoria matra inishi siti sikian chirition tokonim drato sokori payat inindraya tokorruiti sian chatri si tiriato ratasham saki siora wapayo shokorro kayat ruanatra. And if you guys are ever interested in earth ships, there's a lot. If you ever find yourself in northern New Mexico, there's a lot of the earth ships in this community that are available for like Airbnbs and rents and renting and stuff. If you're ever curious about being off the grid in an earth ship, I really recommend it. I've wanted to come out here since I was like in college when I found out about earth ships. I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to do it. It's really, really cool. It's been really, really powerful to like ground. Obviously they're built into the earth, out of like recycled trash and the land. So it's a really cool experience. Mike Reynolds is the guy who came up with this. He's a complicated person, but he has really cool architectural ideas. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off soon. Oh, I can't. I'm not on my I can't just lift the camera because it didn't attach to my I don't even know why I have the camera on here. It's not using it. It's just my computer. But I can kind of show you. So they have it's dark now, so it'll be harder to see. But there's like the indoor planter, so you can grow your own food. I grew all this food from seeds. And this is the inside of it. I am moving, so it's sparse. And then the bedroom's back there, and the bathroom. And that's the little room where the batteries are and the water filter from outside and all the solar stuff. And that's like a weird little bedroom. If it were daytime, I would show you the mountains, but you won't be able to see them because it's dark. Okay, my friends, I think I'm going to end it here. I've been feeling the solar energies coming through, but I really just wanted to come on and share the codes and be together with you all. And I hope that you all take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate. Remember to bless your water. Bless everything that you are consuming and interacting with and giving your energy to as well and exchanging with. And rest. Remember to rest. Remember you are cared for. You are provided for. We are abundant in God. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is okay now. Things are changing crazy fast, and it looks a mess, and we're reorganizing ourselves at all dimensional levels, really, of this universe at this time. So give yourself grace. Try to give other people grace. I know sometimes it can be hard. Other people seem to be acting a fool, but remember, you've probably acted a fool sometimes in your life too. We're not here to compare. We're not here to judge. We're here to purify ourselves and forgive ourselves in the world. So I hope that this made that a little bit easier for you today. And when I get back to Colorado, I'll be on live more often. New Mexico is always deeply revealing and healing for me. So Colorado has a much more steady energy for me. So I'll be on more, and there's so many videos and there's so many ways to work together. So if you're interested, check all that stuff out. You guys rule, and I will see you next time. God bless you.